Hello everyone. My name is shit. Hello everyone. My name is Anurag and today I'm going to work on the seventh experiment of Unix Lab, which is to work on the system calls. So the basic description of the system calls given here is files creat to create a new file, then then the syntax of that system call, then open to open a file, write to write a file, read to read a file, close to close a file. So let's move on to the first part of the program, first part of the experiment, which is to write a C++ program to copy the contents of one file to another file using using Unix system call. Let's see the program. Okay. So first we are importing all the header files, and this is the header file font tl.h to work on the file system system for the program. Then initially we are using all the required variables and setting the char buffer to 50. Then what we are asking the user is to enter the name of the file which we want to read. So after the name of the input file, we are going to check if it exists or not. If it exists, then if it does not exist, then we are going to display the appropriate message, and if it exists, then we will display the loaded file. Then first we are reading, that is first we are reading using the read system call. Read fdbuff, read from forward a buffer up till 50, that means from 0th character to 50th character it will be read, and the and the contents which will be stored in the buff will be displayed. Now we are going to enter the new file which we want that to copy into. So basically what we are doing, we are copying that entire file into new file. So after that we are after that first we are asking the user to enter the new file name. Then after that then how we are creating the new file name is like file name and the system call associated with it. Then after that we are going to write the entire contents of the buffer into that new file name, into that new file which is created. And after the process has been completed, we will display the appropriate message that the copied has been the copying of the files has been successful, copying of the data has been successfully done. Let's move on to the working part. So okay, so under the name of the file which we want to read, so I want to read input.txt. Okay, so this is up till the 50th buffer. So this is up till this part. Okay, clear SOF. Okay, then after the message is displayed, enter the new file which we wish the file to copy into. So I will put that as output.txt. Okay, the message is displayed that the data has been returned successfully. Let's check if it has been done. Okay, yeah, the message has been pasted successfully, as we can see here. Let's go back. Then after that we are moving to the next part, next program, which is to write a C++ program to concatenate two files and write it to the third file using Unix system calls. So let's move on to the program first. So after importing all the required header files, first we are setting up all the required variables. Then after that we are asking the user to enter the name of the first file. Then we are using the o read only system call to open that file. Then after and if the file does not open, we will display the appropriate message. Then after and if the file exists, then we are going to read the first 100 characters of the file. Then after that we are going to display that contents of the file. Then following that we are asking the user to enter the name of the second file. Then we are using the same system call o read only. Then if the file does not exist, we will display the appropriate message, and if it exists, the same we will read the content of the file using the read system call up till and store it into the buff2 for the 100 characters like mentioned here. Then after that we are going to display the contents of the second file. Then for what to write that to both the contents of buff1 and buff2, we are going to into the third file. We are creating the third file, which is which would be done as s3 equal to s1 plus s2. Then then first what we are doing is initially we are asking the user to enter a new file name. Then after the new file has been entered, then after that we are using create system call to create a new file. Then we are writing all the contents from buffer1 and buffer2 into the third file. Then after we are going to open that file using open system call. Then after that, then after opening of the file, we are going to display the contents of the file up till 200, because since the initial size of the buffer was 100 and 100, so output file it should be 200. Then after the displaying of the message, we are going to read all the data from the file and display it to the user. Let's move on to working part. Enter the first name of the file, enter the name of the first file. Let's be input.txt. okay, the contents of the file are these are the contents of the file. Then enter the contents of the second file. Okay, it will be output.txt. okay, the contents of the second file are this one, because we have already edited the previous file and it does not contain 100 characters, so the complete file will be displayed here. So enter the new file name. Let the new file name be 1.txt. So the total contents of 1.txt is displayed here, which is the combined contents of buffer1 which is displayed here, and buffer2 which is displayed here into this file. As we can see, the data is similar. Moving on to the next part, which is to work on C++ program to append some data into an existing file name using unix system call. So this is the program for it. So after declaring all the header files, what we are just declaring all the required variables for the program. Then we are opening the file using the open system call. Then after getting the username after getting the file name from the user, we are opening the file. Then if it does not exist, we will display the message. Then and if the file exists, first we are reading all the contents of the file and storing it in the buff, and then after that we are asking the user to enter the additional content. So whatever needs to be added into the end of the existing file. So we will store that into the input stream. Then what we are doing is we are writing that input stream content into the new file, and we are closing that file. Then after that we are displaying that file to show the initial data and whatever the user has input into that file later on, that is towards the end. Let's go on to the working part of the program. Okay, and in the final I will enter it as output .txt. Okay, these are the contents of the file. Let's enter the additional content. Okay, and you are Anurag STU studies. Okay, then see the data has already been written into it. We see, as we can see here, it is displayed here, the contents of the file. Let's go and check into the output, into the original file, if the addition has done or not. vi.txt. As we can see here, the input has been written into it. I don't know, this may be some kind of error.